experience turning ideas into ideal business and driving revenue through effective client relationships. Mr. Tonito Samuel is the founder of One VA Technologies, an organization that specializes in mobile app development and digital business solutions across board. Mr. Tonito also recently joined Siwaju Consulting as senior consultant, heading their digital delivery practice as well, coaching and mentoring small businesses at different incubators. Please, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Mr. Tonito Samuel on stage as he will be talking on digital paradox of change in today's business.
Thank you. Okay. It's morning, right? So good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. All right, we're going to kick off, and I want to celebrate you all for making time to come. A big thank you to you, Jason, and the team who did put this together. I have 15 minutes, so we would go. But before I start, I want every one of us to just help me pronounce the letters in white, and I need you to scream it out. 1, 2, go.
Digital change business.
Say that again.
Digital change business.
So my topic this morning is digital paradox of change in today's business. Now, like my the first two speakers have spoken pretty well, and they're also my boss, you know. But something has happened in our world today, which simply states that everything has gone digital. Now, the paradox in my topic simply says some of us don't believe it yet. Some of us think, no, it's not true. But everything is virtually gone digital. Whether you like it or not, even the taxi rank you're looking at today in the nearest future will start being digitalized in the sense that soon you will need an app to book your next taxi. You need to use an app to say, after roads. So now let's drive quickly into this topic and let's see what it simply means, or what I'm trying to pass across to us as students who are about to get into the job market or who are aspiring to kick off their new line of business in the nearest future. All right, let's go. Let's see, I can use this. All right, so let's skip this, don't worry. You can skip this. All right. Okay, now, so today's agenda, we will touch on 4 key areas. Areas number 1, which Percival touched on, we spoke about business model. Now, the other part we're going to also talk about is operational process. The third part, we'll talk about customer experience, and finally, we will talk about digital marketing. Now, a quick touch on each and every one of this is, don't forget we're talking about how digital changes business. And for us today, it simply means that you don't initiate or start up a business without first looking at what the digital framework of that business would look like. Because in today's context of business, you need to constantly rethink your process and rethink your model. So it makes a lot of sense that now that some of us are just about to start our business, we must always ask this critical question: what is the digital interface of this business that I'm about to start? All right? So, business model. I made my concept of business model completely different from the norm that you will see out there. I decided to marry my process with design thinking. Alright? Now for you to kick off a business, for you to develop a model for a business, that business must have gone through what we call design thinking. Now design thinking is another complete program on its own. It's another school of lessons that any person, any entrepreneur must, or I personally advise, should actually undergo. So in the design thinking process, we begin with what we call empathy. Empathy is how you take time to understand what the customer's pain is. So you don't just wake up and say, because no, I'm starting a business, and I'm going to jump into this business because everybody's doing it. There must always be a reason, there must always be a pain point. Percival kept mentioning one keyword: value. Value is only achieved when you solve a problem for a person, okay? People pay you for value, people pay you for problem solve. And for you to understand the problem, you must empathize with the system or that environment, Okay, so empathy is number one. The other thing goes is what? Defining what the problem is. Okay? I'm sure seated down, I mean, for those of us who are in school, within the schooling environment, you can tell what the biggest problem is in UJ. I mean, we've been here, I think it was Kelvin and I one time, and we know very critical. It's clear. Moving from finding places in this campus is a problem. You know that. So if you've been in school, you can tell that that's the problem. So if you can define the problem, then you can easily ideate and create a solution. Now the big question now becomes, how do we solve this problem? So first of all, you empathize, understanding the problem, define what the problem is, then ideate, meaning create your own solution that you think has the right answer to mitigate that problem that you have identified. The other part now becomes prototype. So many times, a lot of us pour a lot of money in our test phase. A lot of businesses that has crashed in the first 5 years didn't crash because it was a wrong business. It was actually you poured your entire capital on your prototype phase. I, for one, made such mistake because we were testing something that was new, and we poured in a lot of money developing, traveling here, and setting up. Rather, we should have spent just about a fraction of the capital to build a prototype and test the market. All right. Now the other phase after you do your prototype is what? Test. Somebody say test.
Test.
Now when you test, you call friends. Now a lot of us see platforms, especially software platforms. When they have a new product, they call it beta version. What are they doing? They are testing. At that phase, you're going to find bugs. You're going to find things. That's not the time you go into market and tell people to pay you. You're going to find bugs and you will have to test, get feedbacks, and go back, and then you finally transform. Now, the proper design thinking process stops at 5. When you test, then you engage the market. But I added transformation because when you have a good product, then you've actually transformed a trend, or you've changed the game in the marketplace. All right? Okay, so now let's talk about operational process. Remember, the agenda for us is how we use digital to transform or change business. So I've talked about business model, using the design process framework, and now we're talking about operational process. And whether you like it or not, in as much as we talk about technology, people remain the most valuable assets of any system. Because that technology, somebody still needs to operate it. If you have a robot, if you don't switch it on, I know some today, there are systems designed to help them put up themselves, right? Well, believe me, somebody had to write that framework, that code, that programming. So people, you need talented people. The other thing you need a system. The other thing you need to optimize our digital processes, you need technology. If you're going to start a business today, and there are good platforms that already help you do that. For example, I'm sure there are SMS platforms today where you can just go in, right? Look at how SMS communication has been optimized with the process. You have an SMS online platform, you punch in the contents you want to share, you already have a number list, right? And at the click of one button, everybody gets that message at the same time, the broadcast. As opposed to you having to sit on your phone, type in the same message, you copy and you paste. Now what does this entire thing help you achieve? It saves you time, you reduce your budget, the overall costing of your business is reduced. Why? Because you are applying the tool of technology to navigate the entire business process. Now let's talk about this area called customer experience. Now, today, what drives loyalty is how you make a customer feel. It's how good you make a customer feel. The most important thing, and I'm sure for a lot of growing businesses in Africa and here in South Africa, we've not entered this stage yet, the virtual reality stage, okay? Now, but there are some places that are getting close to it. So there is virtual reality. Pacifica did inform us today that the VC of the school has a PhD in artificial intelligence. So that's another level. Okay? So people are using tools and robots to create that kind of customer experience that enhances how people interact with your business, interact with your products and services. There are some online stores today that they actually can walk you through the entire clothing gallery and shelves without you leaving your laptop. You're just there and it will take you through. You will see, you will look at the back of the shirts and everything. The reason is because these guys are plugged in tools that enhances your experience as a customer. So those experiences will always impact on your buying choices. Okay? Now the other one which the other one which I love so much is this guy, chatbots. I mean, Absa has one now. There's a guy who can chat with you on WhatsApp and you can do your entire transaction from a chatbot. Yesterday while I was doing this, because there's a project coming up and I was doing more research on this, and this is changing the game in how people buy because the communication is now different. A lot of us visit websites and there's a live chat that pops up. It's not a human being talking to you. They've actually given that human being that's Robert a name, that now does proper customer interaction with you. So once you land the website, somebody's talking to you. Hi, Tonita, how may we help you? What exactly are you looking for? Okay? And those tools are part of what improves and enhances customer experience. Now, once my problems are solved on that platform within the first 3 minutes, the likelihood that I come back to buy from you or refer people to you will always be 100%. Alright? So, and of course, this other one, a lot of us know this, we do marketing, of course, email marketing. Alright? So with marketing, we all receive emails from different platforms today, trying to sell you stuffs, trying to encourage you to click here, get a free copy of Waleed's new book coming out in 2020, and all of it. But the whole idea is customer experience has a digital process. All of this is fully digitalized, in the sense that before, customer experience would have been how someone came out and smiled at you. Alright? But today it's different. You walk into good banks today, from the reception they ask you what you came for. Even if nobody asks you, there's a system talking to you. You walk into a McDonald's today, there is a self-order system. You can go in, punch your order, make a payment right there, and you pick a seat and you get your order number without having any human interaction. The business process is so optimized and everything is making sense. So let's talk about this. Digital marketing. This is what I enjoy. Now, digital marketing, I think, is one of the big buzzwords in the market space today. Everybody's talking digital marketing. Thank you. So, now what are the key processes that we all need to integrate into our business once we start? First thing, for you to do all of this, you must have a website. So don't go do search engine optimization. Stop advertising on Instagram and you don't have a website. The big question is, where are you going to send them to? And that was why Pacifica kept insisting that your Instagram business is not yet a business, because there must be a place where you redirect those customers, those viewers, those you have to have a place where you send them back to. So you need search engine optimization. Sorry. Alright, so search engine, and there's another thing called search engine marketing. Waleed goes to Super Balist very well. Now when he leaves Super Balist and goes to maybe UJ to check out for a new course he wants to do, somewhere by that corner, Super Balist will still be popping up. So you visited the website before, you've gone to search for something on Take a Lot. Now, but from that day, every other place you go, Take a Lot keeps popping up. You know what they've done? The robots has studied your learning, has learned your behavior of what you like. And everywhere you go, they follow you. So they are like bees. So they just follow you everywhere. And of course, we know what we call local search marketing. How many of you know what we call Google My Business? So with Google My Business, you do what we call local search marketing. It's that platform that allows you to put out, you register your business, and it's free. All of these things happens for free, apart from search engine optimization and the search engine marketing. But Google My Business is absolutely free. Just go and open a Google My Business account with your Gmail account and put all your business details and your address, and they confirm it. The day somebody punches your name in Google, your business name, your address will pop up with a map. Alright? So it's easier for people to find you. And of course, the other one talks about, of course, remarketing. Remarketing is also the same thing. So search engine marketing uses remarketing as a tool. Okay? So let me just jump this and come back here. Now, one of the biggest things that you will enjoy when you engage digital marketing for your businesses, you need to develop a proper journey on what you want to achieve. I know a lot of times people say, no, I want to do adverts. What's the goal of this advert? What's the goal of this campaign? Every campaign has to have a journey, has to have a goal. And in your goal, you need to define what your goals are, the focus, who your audiences are, where they are, and how to reach all of them. Okay? So, now with every business or industry experience the digital hits, the big question is to you. I'm asking this again, will every business or industry experience the digital hit? Huh? Are you sure? Okay. So the big question is, the big answer for me is yes. I mean, the retail landscape has changed already. As of today, 94% of every big retail store has an online presence, not just an online presence. They're trying to enforce everybody to use their online platform to shop, get products delivered to them. So the game has changed. Now, the question you ask yourself, so why are the people still building new malls? Of course, they will build new malls to accommodate more platforms, more stores to come into their space because they would always have a place to store them, okay? But the landscape is changing big time. And a big example of how the landscape has changed is, let's look at how we consume digital, how we feed today, how consumers feed today. Big time is, I mean, if you're looking for VOD, what we call video on demand. Everybody watches Netflix. Am I correct? We all watch Netflix today. If you look at groceries or appliances or electronics, people will go to Take-A-Lot. That's the first place you want to check out. Alright? So this is how we are feeding. The fastest way people look for resources today is on their mobile. And meaning for you to fit into my smartphones, you need to plug yourself into the space that allows me to get you on the go. Thank you.